Well, March is almost over, but the madness has just begun. The NBA and NHL playoff races are heating up, and the Red Sox just traded Carl Crawford to the Yankees. April Fools, this is Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Hey, welcome inside Unsportsmanlike Conduct, the show where two teams and four panelists flex their debate muscles in an attempt to send the other home crying. In between the action is me, your host, Ben Barker. Today we have the Green Liners going head-to-head with the Blue Steel. Both teams look ready to go, so why don't we go meet the competitors? Coming over here to the Green Liners. Jeff, you've been all over the show today. How you feeling?
You know, I'm feeling pretty
Running out of
confident.
steam?
Never, Ben. You know, we got a long day, so I'm looking to finish strong here.
All right, you're sitting next to Megan. Megan, how you feeling? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Ready to get going.
All right, let's go meet your competitors. Coming over here, looking fresh to death as always, my friend Austin Fontanella, joined by Marcus. How are you guys? You guys ready to take down Green?
Well, thanks, Ben. Yeah, we've seen what Jeff can do today, and, you know, it's impressive for a newbie. It's as impressive as that logo looks right now. So we're ready to dominate and wipe the floor.
All right, well, let's get into the first topic. I don't know about you guys, but my bracket has been busted for a while now. The March Madness tournament has made its way to the Final Four, and what a Final Four it is. VCU, Butler, UConn, and Kentucky are the only teams left, with the highest ranking team being UConn with a 3 seed. Guys, which teams are going to go and ahead to advance to the NCAA championship game, and who wins it all? Marcus, you love college basketball so much. Who's it going to be, bud?
Yo, I love me some college basketball, Ben. And to be honest, you know, VCU red hot right now. I have VCU UConn as my, national championship game. Gotta love it. And then throwing a little bit of a curveball, I have VCU winning the whole thing.
Unbelievable. Austin, you may be the only guy who likes college basketball more than Marcus. Do you agree with
I agree with
Marcus?
it. VCU, look at this team. They're on a tangent right now. They've beaten all different styles of play. FSU, an athletic team. Kansas has the big star players on that team. They shoot 44% from three-point range. And when they shot their worst three-point range, they beat Purdue by 18 points.
Oh.
This is a team that's unstoppable
And
right now.
let's not forget SFU, the #1 ranked defense in the entire tournament, and they beat them in overtime by
Marcus,
every other
FSU,
team.
but
Marcus, I don't know who
Excuse me, hold on.
SFU is, but if you want to say
FSU.
Florida State, that's an interesting thing to say.
Excuse me.
But to be honest with you, I have Kentucky and Butler going to my national
That's a
championship game. Because if you take a look at Butler, they're a mid-major team just like VCU, and unlike the other big Division I major program teams, they won't overlook VCU's ability to shoot the three-point ball. If you look at Kansas, Kansas was giving up threes everywhere all over the floor, and that's why they were down by close to 20 in the first half. Butler's also
no
been
one's been able to stop the three-point
right,
ball.
but
They're
Butler
shooting over 40%
Marcus,
against
Butler,
the pass.
Hold on, Marcus. Let him finish his
Butler
point.
has also been here before, okay? They have experienced guys like Matt Howard and Shelvin Mack. And to be honest with you, Brad Stevens always has some magic up his sleeve to beat these major programs.
Okay, Marcus is jumping out of his chair over here. We got to come back over to the blue lumps here, guys. What's going on?
If you didn't hear Brad Stevens real quick, state experience is overrated. He thinks the innocence and going into it, not really knowing what happened, actually gave Butler an advantage last year. So this is what VCU has. They're the most
right, but
dangerous
also-
team
Okay,
right
and
now.
you're talking about Howard. How is Howard even going to go against Skeen? You know, Skeen, a great, 6'10", 6'9" guy, can easily go out, pop for the three. If Howard even tries to come and get him, he's just going to dribble right on across, cross him over, and go right into the lane. No one can stop Skeen, Rodriguez, or Burgess.
So Marcus is living by the three ball here. Why is that a bad idea?
Well, because if you look at teams that live and died by the three ball, if you look at Duke University, for example, they have never won a national championship when they lived and died by the three ball.
But
The
they
only
don't
reason
live
why
and
they
die
won,
by the three.
only reason why they won last year is because they had Plumlee and Zubak down underneath. But guess what, Marcus? What you're also counting out is the fact that Butler didn't win a national championship last year with no experience. So if you want to take a core group of guys that are all coming back and have been here before, have experienced it before, then why wouldn't you look at Butler to advance the national
Jeff,
championship
here's
game?
the
Because,
thing.
Jeff, we were saying before, if you look at it, they live by the three, but look at the one game where they stunk at 3 points. They shot below 30%
And they
from
still
three.
won.
And they still
And
won
it's
by
not even
18.
that.
Okay, you
Ben.
guys both make good points, but I have to say, going by the three can just kill you.
But they
it killed
don't.
me. Notre Dame lives and dies by the three, and they put a
don't
big
live
old
and die by
dagger
the
in my heart. I'm going to give the point over here to the Green Liners. The madness is finally going to end. It's going to be the typical, or not maybe the typical, but the highest ranked championship game. The college court to the NBA now we go. Teams like the Celtics, Spurs, and Bulls all know that they're likely to land a 1 or 2 spot within their conference, but not everybody has that luxury. Where are the 6, 7, and 8 guys going to be? They're all separated by just one game right now, and with the season winding down, the Hornets, Blazers, and Grizzlies are all trying to nail down that number 6 spot. Guys, how will things fall into the bottom of the West at season's end? Coming back over here to Blue Steel.
Well, let's start it off. I think I like what you just said. Portland has a 6, Hornets as 7th, and Memphis has 8.
So it's staying like that.
It's staying just as is. Look
All
at
right.
these teams. All 3 of them have 5 games at home and only 2 on the road. You love that home court advantage. And you look at who they play. Portland plays 4 teams above 500, and then the other 3 are below 500. They only need to win 2 games to stay in 6. They're the exact same record as they had last year. Everyone in the West just got a little better. That's why they dropped down 2 seeds. They're going to stay at 6.
Okay, so Austin, you think that those are still
That's the same thing.
pretty
We
good
know we're
guys.
not
The
gonna
West
lose
has just
enough.
gotten better. Megan, we haven't heard from you yet. How do you feel that the West is going to shape up at the bottom?
Well, I just think that you have to be careful because with New Orleans, one of their really good players just got injured, and
Who's that, Megan?
That'd be David West, Marcus. Now, before
Okay.
you jump down our throat again, we're going to have to say with New Orleans, if you look at them, I have them slotted dropping down to 7 because they have 2 games left with Memphis, who they were 2-0 against, but both those games they played without David West. They've got a game against Dallas, who they're 1-2 against, and they've got the Lakers, who they have yet to beat this season. And after that, they've got Memphis for another game, which that could come down to being one of the final deciding factors to being in the playoff spot and where they finish. And the only 2 road games they have left in the schedule, so maybe at best they go 3-4. So I have them dropping down to 7th, moving up to 6th.
They're already at
Hornets
7.
7. We have them staying at 7.
Oh, well, I haven't stayed at 7, but I also have Memphis going up to 6. My apologies. And the reason why I have them going up there is because they have games against New Orleans. They're 0-2. One of those games was an overtime loss. And again, no David West. They're 1-1 against Portland, and they have 3 games against teams below 500. And as you said, they have 5 home games
Hold
and 2
on,
games
Jeff,
on the
the thing
road.
you're forgetting,
Okay.
they haven't played Portland with their new vamp team. You can't forget that they now have a huge guy in Gerald Wallace, who they haven't had at the beginning of the year. Huge steal in the draft. LaMarcus Aldridge has exploded this season, averaging over 20 points. Brandon
but
Roy
Marcus-
is finally starting to get healthy,
But
which
Marcus,
is going to be key for this team.
If you look at their past 10 games, all these teams that are in the 6, 7, and 8 spots are 6-4. So how much of a difference is that been making for them in the past 10 games? Not very much more than the other 3 teams that are left.
I mean, they're still growing as a team, Jeff. You're still every single game you grow as a team. Brandon Roy's getting that much healthier, and Gerald Wallace finally starting to fit in well now, averaging about 15 points, I think 6 rebounds a game. That's
Okay,
huge
guys,
for
we're
them.
going to put a wrap on this topic. Green Liners, you took the first one, but this one's going to come over here to the Blue Steel. I like that point, Marcus. They are getting healthier, and they do have Gerald Wallace underneath now, a big presence on the court, so things are going to stay the same. We've heard some good arguments from both sides, and right now we're all locked up at 2 apiece. When you see returns, we're breaking out the easel. It's Pick Sictionary time. Keep it here. All right, welcome back to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. 2 topics are down, but there are plenty of points to be awarded. I'm joined here with 2 members of opposite teams. Over here we have Leonardo DeLope of the Green Liners, and on the other hand, Vincent Van Yo of the Blue Steel. They're here to show off their artistic abilities. The game is Pick Sictionary, and here's how you play. I'll give out a topic, and the 2 contestants begin to draw what they think is the best answer. Whoever's picture I can decipher first gets to make their case. Let's do this thing. Guys, the Celtics' chokehold on the Eastern Conference has given way to the surging Chicago Bulls. As the season wraps up, the Celtics are looking at a 2.5-game deficit between themselves and the Baby Bulls. Who finishes first in the Eastern Conference? Pens ready, and go. All right, we're coming over here. It looks like there's a battle. Okay, I think we're going to have to stop it right now. I think I know where you're going with this one, Jeff. Is this the Bulls as a bullfight here?
Ben, that is a bullfight right there.
All right, that's a good drawing.
you.
Leonardo DeLope-esque. So let's hear why is it going to be the Bulls?
Well, the thing is, Ben, the Chicago Bulls right now have a 2.5-game lead over the Celtics and over the Miami Heat. And if you look at their remaining schedule, they only have 2 games with teams above 500, and the other 2 games they're sure to win. Derrick Rose is the front runner for the MVP right now, and they're young. Carlos Boozer, a bit injury prone, but he was out at the beginning of the year, but right now he's back, and everything's full steam ahead with him, Joakim Noah, and Derrick Rose. Their big 3 are sure to be able to take out as much as I hate to say it, the aging Celtics and the Miami Heat, who's only beat 1 team, one of the upper echelon teams in the NBA this season.
Okay, your argument almost as good as your picture, and now I think I know where you're going over here, Alex. I think you were going with the Heat. Am I right?
Yeah, my Flames might not be as distinguishable as I would have liked. But the Miami Heat, definitely the team to look out for going down the stretch. With the Celtics limping towards the finish and Chicago just 2 games ahead, the Heat have a big 3. And when crunch time's up in the NBA, big-time players come to play. The Heat have 3 of them.
All right.
They're ready to rock and roll.
Alex, as good as your picture was, I think I'm going to have to agree with Lopes on this one. I think it is going to be the Chicago Bulls. It looks like they are in cruise control right now with no signs of slowing down. We just talked about which teams are on top, but what about the bottom dwellers? The Cleveland Cavaliers flirted with the worst record of all time, but what does their future look like? Guys, which of the teams in the NBA is the farthest from fitting their finger for a ring? All right, we got our stuff erased here. Let's start right now. Worst team. Who's it going to be? Got some circles going over here. All right, hold on. I think Jeff, are you going with the Cavs?
Going with the Cavs here, Ben. And in case you can't tell, that would be LeBron James's jersey on fire.
Yep.
Over here. And if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, obviously they set an NBA record for most games lost in a row. They have no signs of having a rebuilding year next year, even coming anywhere close to making the playoffs. I mean, their team's focused around Mo Williams, Daniel Gibson, J.J. Hickson, Anderson Varejao, career bench guys who really, if you look at them and you want to say if they some stroke of imagination they make the playoffs, how are they going to match up against any team in the NBA?
It doesn't look good. Alex, I feel bad because you might have had a little bit of a better drawing over here.
That is the Cleveland Cavaliers logo.
And now
my
I
friend.
see it, so my apologies. Let's make your case.
Well, I agree with Jeff, but Jeff, do your homework. Mo Williams was traded at the trade deadline. The Cavs, I mean, you have bad teams in the Clippers and the Timberwolves, but at least they have Kevin Love and Blake Griffin, respectively. The Cavs, Anderson Varejao and Anthony Parker. Are you kidding me?
I think you're both right. I think Cleveland is just doomed for a long time. But you're right, Mo Williams was dealt at the deadline, so you just earned yourself a point, my friend. It's 1-1 right now, coming into our third topic. The last topic takes us to the MLB. Surprise, surprise. Living in Boston, we have the luxury of visiting one of the oldest and most historic ballparks in the league in Fenway Park. But Fenway isn't the only park that fans love to go to. Guys, of all the parks in the MLB, which do you guys think stands alone as the best? Let's see it. Well, you know what, guys, I'm not too sure what you're going with, so we're just going to let you make your cases. Alex, you won that last point, so Jeff, why don't you just start us off? You got to help me out here. What is this?
All right, so I drew President Barack Obama right here, saying change, and we also have the Washington Memorial Building right here.
Okay.
I think that National Stadium is the best MLB venue to take a game in.
All
If
right.
you look there, they have a HD screen that spans about 60 feet up there in center field. They have the red porch bar out in left center field that you can sit at the game. You can sit down at the bar and watch the game. Not too many people go to the Nationals games coming into this year, so there's plenty of room for you to be able to buy a ticket and move down towards the
All right, so Jeff wants to go to Washington. Alex, can you
I'm
explain?
going with the Piggy Bank, a Citizens Bank Park
I
in
gotcha.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A rustic ballpark with an old field, just 6 years old. Beautiful place to watch a game.
All right, so we're going Philly, we're going Washington. I've never been to either parks, but I'm going to go with the Phillies. They won the World Series a couple years ago, and they've got a great shot at doing it this year, too. So points going to go over here to Alex, guys. Good job by both. That wraps up Pick Sictionary. We've got 2 more topics on the board, so don't go away. When you see returns, we are hitting the ice.